Okay. All right. Hello. Welcome to part two of our weekly test show. Oh boy, what a day I have had, especially a night. And I just saw the Lembine's messages right before we came back here. He had just updated his machine to the latest build of 25H2. I don't know if he did the cumulative preview update or he just did the feature up. I think he might have just installed the enablement package. Well, from 24H, yeah. As I remember, his PC upgraded to 24H2 automatically when it came out, or soon after it came out. But his hardware is different from my machine, so not all machines behave the same. But anyway, I am gonna get my I'm gonna get some popcorn here for the night in just a second. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and get the Audacity document ready for when we do the main round of catch up. Now, I actually made a big mistake when I put when I left. I put this thing to sleep. It somehow woke up automatically, and thankfully, it saved everything, and I'm quite glad for that. Now, here's the funny part. Mobile and Fort Worth both decided not to test. But the thing is, both of them actually tested earlier this morning. So I guess maybe they didn't feel like doing the evening test tonight, which is completely understandable. But I did mention earlier in the show that I would be updating my machines to 25H2 in fact next week I'll be doing the upgrades. But anyway, what I am doing now is I am getting, as I said, the Audacity document ready for when we do the catch-up game soon after.
You have just heard a test of the National Weather.
And thankfully that mistake regarding sleep mode saved this thing big time.
Central Daylight Time. Now for the official
This thing did live voice. Interesting. Alright, and then this is the last one. Des Moines. Make sure I split it at the start.
This.
There we go, and then I just need to move it up to the very top and then put it in place.
Those in the lower 30s.
Okay, so we'll start with the Nevada IPOS test, and then we'll move on to everything else. Now, I think we're ready to go on with what we were doing, towards the end of part one. So why don't we continue that? Because why not? Because why not? Oh, actually, there was something else I was going to mess around with too. Was it this one or not? Yep, that's the one. That's the one. So let's do this. Oh, goodness. Well, that noise cancellation did something. It did something good. All right. So, I got flip side taken care of. Let's see if I need to. Let's see if there's any more tests on the other loggers here before we begin. Let's see. All that's there is MLS. There's just, let's see. That was earlier. That's it here. What about here? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them. We'll get them taken care of one by one. And here, yeah, the IPOS test from earlier. Okay. All right, so the only thing then is on WJON. So we'll get the stuff on here taken care of. And what's in here too? KWED. Okay. All right, not too bad. We'll go ahead and get that taken care of. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Close that. Pull up the document I had earlier. It thinks this charger is an accessory, but I don't know if it really is. But ooh, another railroad crossing. Okay. Let's see. And then get another train crossing. Okay. All right. So, next we're going to play catch up here with all of this, and then we'll mess around with. We'll see what kind of crazy words we can make from the letters from today's Name and Claim It word game from part one. So let's see how this goes here. But first, we have some catch up to do. So, without further ado, let us. Well, actually, let me check the sound first. Okay, we got sound out at both ends. All right, then let's go. Okay, and that is that. Now, let me go ahead and throw that in.
The significant risk of severe weather in the area. Weather Service radio warning. The national just heard a test of the National Weather Service radio storm and the warning alarm feature of National Weather Service radio is conducted at 12 noon and 7 p.m. each Wednesday, unless there is a significant risk of severe weather in the area.
Yep, and then I'll adjust it, so that way it focuses more on the Discord window. Yeah, the Discord window. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Well. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's another version of the same video I found. Of a Dodge Ram with a K5 LA horn, a K3 LA horn, doing a little horn battle against a Norfolk Southern freight train with a K5 LA horn. That's interesting. All right, well, now that we've taken care of all of that, we can go ahead and erase all of those files. All right. So that is that, and let me make sure I have the Windows 7 VM ready to go, so that way we can do Deal or No Deal here in about, let's see here, 35 minutes. All right. Now for what I promised at the start of the show, which was to go through the letters in this week's Name It or Claim It Scrambled Word game, which we received in part one, actually at the very beginning of the show. So I'll go ahead and say those letters again. They are R, U, Y, T, M, A, O, and R. Those are the letters. Now, I'm sure this is the part that a lot of you have been waiting for since the very beginning of this. We get to see what kind of crazy words we can make from these letters. I don't really know. But before I do that, let me tell you, the Yesternet was just unbearable. It was just unbearable at the campus tonight. I literally had to use the in lab desktop PC just to get the just to get one or both labs done. Before coming back here. Yeah, yeah. I went ahead and got both labs finished and ended up back here on time. I'm happy about that personally. Okay, let's see what kind of letter. Let's see what kind of words. I know one word, tray. Let's see, tray. Traymore. Traymore. Oh yeah, in this file, let's get rid of it too.
Traymore.
Traymore. What else can we try? Mator. Mater. Mator.
Mater.
Mater. Mater. Mater. Let's see. Mater. Mater. So adding a Y-U-R to the end of it.
Matorier.
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 Matoriur. Matoriur.
Matorier. Translate for a let's see. If it's a valid word, then it'll say see dictionary. But if not, it will just try to translate it in the best way possible. Mattery. Let's see.
Mattery.
Mattery. Trum. Let's try. Trum. Yar. Trum. Y-A-O-R. Yeah. Let's see what we get.
Trumor.
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 Trumiaor. Trumiaor.
Oh no. Let's see. Am. Let's see. A-M-T-R. Amtror? Okay.
Amtrur.
Amtror.
Amtrur.
Amtror. Amtror.
Amtrur. Amtrur.
Amtror. Amtror. Oh, what else can we try? What else have we got? Rome try.
Rome try.
Rome try.
Rome try. Rome try. Rome try.
Rome try. Rome try. That sounds like a fun word. All right, what else can we try here? Your tram.
Your tram.
Your tram.
Your
Your
tram.
tram.
Your tram. Your tram.
I love this name it and claim it word game thing. All right. Well, what else can we try? Yam. Drawer. Yam drawer.
Yamtrur.
Yamcher.
Yamtrur.
Yamcher. Yamcher. I love that. Yamcher. At MAUOUR at Mar Hour at Mar Hour
At Maror. At Maror.
at Maror at Maror at Maror. There's 7 sevens on the board.
There's 7 S on the board.
No.
There's 7 sevens on the board.
Yep, there you go. That sounds done. Okay. Let's see. Ram Turi.
Ramtory.
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 Ramtory. TRUY MAOR.
Truemore.
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 Truemore. Truemore. Truemore. I wonder what's so special about Truemore. Truemore. That sounds like a pretty good, pretty great word. A very, very good looking word. What else can we try here? Trom. Yower? Trom Yower?
Tromior.
Tromior. Tromior. Okay. Let's see what else. Tamori.
Tamari. Tamari.
Yeah, I think you may have just found. Do you mean this?
Armory. Armored.
Armoret.
Artmory.
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 Well, great job. You found a word for me, so. But I'm curious to know, how does this name it and claim it word game thing work? Do you have to use like all 8 letters in the word or something?
Oh, there
know.
you are.
Yep. Back from my evening class, I just went through all those crazy words from today's name it and claim it word game.
Name it, claim it. What?
Yeah, that's something that WMBS does right after their automated test at like 8:40 Central Time in the morning. They just reveal a whole bunch of letters in no particular order, and then some of their listeners, try to call in and try to come up with a word with those letters. I kind of took that idea into my own hands, and I like having fun with it myself. Just seeing what kind of crazy words I can make from it, like battery, battery, amtror, tamary, artmory, ramtory.
Oh no.
That's how crazy this name it and claim it word game thing can be. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's see what kind of Latitude computers we can find on eBay. Because it's time for another one of those eBay scavenger hunts. Let's see what we can find. Let's see here. This is a Latitude 3510. A 10th generation i5 with pretty much almost the same specs as my main desktop system, except it's a 10th generation processor and it's a laptop. A 5450 with a Core Ultra 5. And that Copilot key that I'm starting to see everywhere nowadays. And this laptop actually just went up here. An E7450 with an i5 processor. Ooh, Ultrabook. Who remembers Ultrabook? And it's got Windows 11 on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, somebody decided to put 11 on it. But this laptop, actually, I remember seeing it. I don't think it was this one specifically. It was probably something else. But anyway, let's keep searching here. There's a 5420 with an 11th generation Intel processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. And yeah, that's what the laptop actually looks like. It looks like there's actually a collection of them. There's actually multiple copies of them for sale. This one is a 7480 with only a 6th generation Intel processor. And then we have this Latitude laptop that, instead of being thrown away, someone decided to be nice and put Zorin OS on it. That's awesome that somebody decided to put an open source operating system on a laptop that won't run Windows 11. That's amazing.
Open source operating system.
Yeah, Zorin OS. In fact, I've heard that
Zorin
OS 18 was released on the same day as the end of Windows 10, and it had record downloads, which was pretty impressive.
Oh, Zorin OS.
Yeah, Zorin OS is one of those Linux distributions.
Nice. Nice.
So you could download it for free, but then if you want more customizability, then you could pay for the Pro Edition, and there's even...
here's the better part about Zorin OS. It runs Windows apps.
Yes, it does. That's even better.
Yay! Wow!
Yeah, and I've seen so many tutorial videos on this, repurposing old machines with this thing, and, I can make it, like right out of the box, even with the free standard edition, can make it almost like, it's kind of exactly like Windows. I mean, it's the same, almost the same kind of start menu.
Does Zorin actually cost money?
Well, there's a free version, but if you want to unlock additional functionality and themes, then...
No, you can't do that. That's not possible with me. Sorry, can't do that. No. As soon as I see money, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry.
Well...
Zippo on that.
But yeah, if I decide to keep my Latitude, my XPS laptop, I will most likely put Zorin OS on there after the ESU program.
Oh yeah, that's ESU, of course.
or I can maybe just try Zorin OS on a virtual machine.
Whatever.
But anyway, this one is a Latitude 7400. I didn't get a close reading of the processor label on this picture. I believe that says 8th generation, but we can scroll down to the bottom and find all the specs. Yep, there we go, 8th generation. Here's another 8th generation Latitude. This is a 5400.
What's
a 3189 with a Celeron.
What's the Russian?
A Dell Latitude 3189 with a Celeron. Thankfully, this was not the kind of laptop that my school had. Well, this was the laptop that my school had, but I did not know if it was a Pentium or a Celeron, because it just says Intel inside. It doesn't say if it's Pentium or anything. Here's another Latitude 7420 with an 11th generation. And here's a 3420 that actually just went up. 11th generation i7 chip. And of course it's on Windows 11. And there's the sticker for Windows 10. Dell Latitude laptop PC. This must be the 3190. That's not the 2-in-1 model. I can tell. Here's another 7400. The processor sticker is missing. There's also no hard drive or battery. Which is... And then this is another 5420 listing that just went live. Then here's a 3380. it's only a 7th generation. It says Windows 10 Pro on the listing, but this picture shows it running Windows 11.
Yeah.
And then here's a 3190 with the maxed out specs of 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and it has Windows 11 on it because it meets the requirements.
Yeah.
And then a 5400, a Latitude 5400. And then a Latitude 5410, which has a 10th generation Intel processor, 5430 with a 12th generation. Obviously, it has Windows 11 out of the box. As you can tell by the logo on the keyboard, way before Microsoft did this Copilot key thing like they're doing now. Like, not just Microsoft themselves, but many manufacturers. Not sure if I like the look of this 5420 because it looks like some of the keys are either broken or missing, or maybe they just have some special paste or something. Oh, worn keys. A bunch of these keys were worn out.
I think the AI just fucking said, "Oh my god."
Located in Oak Lawn, Illinois.
No, it doesn't say that here. No.
No, I was saying the location of this model in the listing.
What model of what?
This 5420 with worn out keys with 32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte drive, and no OS comes from the Lawn of Oaks. We were literally talking about restaurants in the Lawn of Oaks earlier in the show. We were talking about this during part 1. Well, I guess that's good to know that Brandon's here, as he sent a couple of messages. A sorry clip, and...
Oh,
sure.
We gotta do deal or no deal, don't we? Oh,
of
is
course
that coming
we
up
are.
here?
We're going to do that in 20 minutes. And how about let's Google Translate say this?
Oh, that's okay. I guess you didn't want to pay taxes on that money anyway. I'll just take that off your hands, okay, bye.
Well, this is interesting. A Latitude laptop coming from Oak Lawn. I do not think I have seen a laptop come from a town that let's look on the other PC because I don't know if I want to show it on the air, but let's see. The AI said is a PSP pager, and it's said it was transmitted from the Ogilvie Transportation Center in Chicago.
Yeah, and it's already got the information down. Like, what the fuck?
It already is. Yeah, from the Ogilvie Transportation Center, where Metro's Union Pacific lines terminate.
I don't know why the hell it actually got that information from.
Honestly, I don't know. But, of course, sometimes AI can, bring incorrect info. But anyway, next up is a 3301. This comes out of Jacksonville, Texas, interestingly enough. 5430 with a 12th generation. And it already ended. This one was just sold. 7:36. I don't know if it's saying it in Eastern Time or it's saying it in Central Time. Oh, that went pretty quickly. Here's another 5420. This one's in much better shape. It's a V Pro 11th gen. PCs for People Chicago. This is almost, I guess they must have multiple laptops of this model. They have multiple ones. There's all of them. Image, digital, Windows 11 Pro, commercial. There's an E6520 that was designed for Windows 7, but it's running Windows 11. Full keyboard with Windows 10 key. I guess they must have taken a Windows 10 product key and used it to activate Windows 11, which makes sense. Because, I mean, Windows 11 is a free upgrade, so yeah, they should make Windows 10 keys available to activate Windows 11. And here's
This one.
and here's a 5410 that's still on Windows 10.
Oh, Clamful, you gotta look at this.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. AI's getting there.
Oh goodness.
Here, I'll just show you the other one that's next to it. Here.
Here's a 5431 out of Columbus, Ohio, which has
It's
512
taking
gigs,
over
32
the
gigs of
radio
RAM, and no
spectrum.
operation. What's this one? It's a Glenair paging link. Part the paging system that uses the frequency key
I'm
shifting.
guessing everything now. No. Fucking AI.
Yeah, it's crazy what the tech world
AI
is becoming
thing.
now. But anyway, continuing on. Here's a 5440 that is a 13th generation Intel chip.
All right, I'm gonna do Indiana Paging Network now.
See what it pulls up. With a trackpad that looks almost exactly like what you'd find on a Mac. $16 GB of RAM.
User in LaPorte, Indiana area. Hosted in an audio frequency shift king paging link.
There's a 7280.
AI.
And then a 3310 with a Core i3.
Anyways, what else is on the radio
Eighth
band
generation,
series?
which meets the requirements. Let's transition to the Optiplex line now. And here's one of those micros I've been looking at earlier today.
All right, now we'll go to Wisconsin.
Yeah, see what Wisconsin has. There's a 5060 small form factor, which has an 8th generation Intel processor.
Oh, this one has information. Okay, so they didn't do it with this one.
Well, yeah, exactly like the small form factor PC that I have.
No.
Well, because mine's a 3060.
They didn't identify this signal. They didn't identify it. No.
There's a 7050 with only a 6th generation. Oh, wow.
I don't understand
This thing even has PS2 ports, which something barely... Well, nobody even... With technology that nobody even uses anymore. PS2 keyboards are pretty much a thing of the past. And whoever put this up decided to put Windows 11 on it despite it not meeting the minimum system requirements. It's crazy that these people these people are finding ways to get around these system requirements to just see how it runs. But
I hate AI so much.
But yeah.
I want to go to ChatGPT now. But I shall just use Gemini.
Yeah, here's a 7420 with the latest generation Intel processor. God. Oh wow. This thing is nothing but DisplayPort. Nothing but DisplayPort. Yeah, these newer Optiplexes have nothing but DisplayPort connectivity unless you have an HDMI optional module. Or VGA, which is basically what the monitor I'm using on my micro right now only takes. It only takes DisplayPort and VGA. It doesn't do HDMI or DisplayPort or HDMI only. Like my current monitor. Let's see if I go down. Well, yeah, my monitor only has HDMI. It has actually 2 inputs of HDMI, so I could have one input be my computer, and then I can have another input be something like a game console or something like that. But yeah. And then here's...
Oh, wait. No, this gets even better playable. I'm not going to show you it, but I'll just...
Yeah, here's the ThinkCentre mini PC.
No. What the heck? Stop it, Yowling. You're getting obsessed with it.
And 8th generation.
Oh. I'm getting scared.
Windows 11 Pro. 32 gigabytes. 1 terabyte of storage.
Yay!
$483. Well, for this Lenovo PC, well, I got a Dell Micro machine, upgraded the RAM to 32 gigabytes, and upgraded the storage to an incredible 3 terabytes, all for the incredible price of absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
That's right. It was all done for free.
Oh, and here's another thing, Planful. The AI is saying that it's a digital ghost signal.
Good lord.
What the fuck? Ow.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, what signal?
Okay, here we have a 7040 micro with, of course, you guessed it, 6th generation.
Oh my god.
There's a 9th generation 5070.
Fascinating little
Power
digital
PC.
ghost signal. What is the freaking thing thinking?
And there's 2
Oh my
DisplayPort
God.
connectors there, 6 USBs. Looks like 4 USB 3.0 and then
AT&T
there's 2
paging.
USB 2.
What, you mean Ameritech or just AT&T paging? That doesn't make any sense.
There's the
Oh,
7070
thank you.
Ultra PC, and then the 7070 Micro PC. The higher end of the Optiplex Micros in the line.
What?
So there's only one
What?
USB 3.0, and then there's a USB Type-C. And then here's the back of it. As opposed to 2 HDMI. Well, actually, no, not 2 HDMI. 1 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI connector. This thing has 2 display ports, and it has a VGA optional module included. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
That's amazing. So I can use my old monitors with the new look of Windows. And it would look so bad.
Wait a minute. Wait, it says that an M1 frequency is for Office of Public Safety. What the fuck? Public Safety Pool.
But anyway.
What? What?
So here we go. We got 7090, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 656 gigabytes
Oh
of
my
storage,
God.
and of course no operating system. If I were to get that, I would just make the recovery media for it with the
Yeah.
DellOS recovery tool that I still need to get rid of off of here because I've pretty much done everything. Well, I probably want to keep it on there because once I can get that.
Yeah.
But if I end up retiring it, I'll just end up retiring my XPS laptop. I'll just take the SSD screw out of there and then put that 256 gigabyte SSD into my.
Yeah,
Into my
I do not
Optiplex.
understand how AI found that out. Oh my god, this is fucking retarded signal.
And then here's
what
a
the heck?
Optiplex 5000 micro. This is actually a newer generation. 4 USB 3.2
I just don't get how
ports
it knows that. How does
and
it
2
know it?
display ports.
Sorry. No.
And now we have the Optiplex all-in-one PC that looks like everything is still sealed, like as if it was brand
I will
new.
never understand how it knows
Yeah,
it.
it looks like it's brand new. 14th generation.
Yeah, probably.
16 gigs of
Right.
RAM. Warranty valid until June of 2028.
Wow.
That is great. Performance. 16 gigs of memory. Windows 11 Pro.
Oh no, I hate Windows 11.
Yeah, I know some people. I know some people do. Anyway, here's an Optiplex 7000 with a 12th generation. Yeah, this line out port was what that 13th generation, those 13th generation micros that my father's school has.
I'm
has
gonna
now.
ask Gemini now. I'm gonna ask.
There was one person that had a separate pair of speakers that couldn't even plug it into their. They can't even plug that into their micro now. So maybe they just have to buy a. Maybe they have to buy a whole new set and one that works over USB. Yeah, USB because there's no audio port on the back of it. Yeah. 3 display port cables, 3 USB 3 connectors, Ethernet, the optional module which is not going to have VGA of any kind. Here's another 3060. Small form factor machine like I have. This one only has 8 gigabytes of RAM and no hard drive in it. And then a 5080 tower PC with a 10th
Okay,
generation.
now Gemini is just getting too interesting with the freaking responses.
It is.
Freaking heck! I don't understand. How does it know that?
How it knows all this information? That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yuck. That sucks.
A 7040 tower with a 6th generation. What model?
I'm gonna ask Gemini another question that you might like, Planful. Hold on.
It's the Optiplex 5480. That's the model of that PC.
No. That's related to weather. Hold on.
Oh. There's another small form factor. This one has 16 gigabytes of RAM already out of the box, as well as 512 gigabytes of storage. And then here's a bunch of 3080 micros. And it looks like in this listing there's only 7 left.
No. Actually, I'm gonna ask.
What is that? Unit 1. It's an HP Z4 with a Xeon chip. And yep, just as it says, they all have Windows 11 Pro, and it was installed just 4 days before the end of Windows 10. And then there's a 7470 with a 9th generation Intel. Only 8 gigabytes of RAM.
No, AI, that's not the reason why KID63 changed to WZ2560. Doesn't know that, though. That's so dumb. No, that's not the reason why. I'll just change, add a word in here, say call sign. No. God. Why? Doesn't even give the correct reason why that it changed to WZ2560. That doesn't make any sense. What the heck? Planfound.
It doesn't. Oh, great.
All right, it's 23 o'clock. Do you want to do deal or don't?
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to the group.
All right, waiting for Brendan to show up.
We got one. Let's see where Brandon is, because he was literally on my chat 20 minutes ago.
Yep, and he's waiting. We're waiting for him now. Let's see if he can play this time.
Yeah, it
why
says
the phone
offline
icon,
on my
please?
part. Or maybe he's busy watching those races again. It could be.
No.
Well, let's give him 5 minutes.
I know. We will.
Yeah, let's give him a
We
few
will.
minutes, see if he responds, and then If not, then it's going to be another edition of Deal or No Deal with just the Lem Bomb again.
Again, and I don't know if I'm gonna win $1 million again, like I did last time.
Maybe. But
Yeah.
See if the luck will be. We'll see if the luck will be in the cases this time.
Yeah.
But it was
I think the
last
game is
time when he
rigged.
took the offer. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Yay, Brendan's here. Woohoo!
Hell, let's get into it.
Yes,
Let's get into it.
Yes, we
Yes,
shall
where
get
were you
into
the
it.
last couple times, Brendan? We missed you.
Yeah, we missed him. Probably because he's been
Sometimes
watching all
I
those
feel like
races
playing,
again.
sometimes I don't. Just depends on what I'm doing.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
that's
good.
Right, because I know he's a busy guy like the rest of us. So yeah,
Nope.
that's why there's some cases where you can't.
Sometimes I'm chatting with people, I forget, and the next thing I know,
Yeah, next
11:30, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh well. But anyway,
All right, here we go.
Well, let's get into it.
yep.
Let's get
the
into it.
show on the road.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Deal or No Deal. I'm Howie Mandel, and this evening you could walk away with a huge cash prize.
Yeah, Brendan, I almost won the $1 million last week, but I didn't. I said no.
Well, that was me. I think the last time I played,
26 of my bet.
I think last time I played, I
Please.
had the million and not the million. I think I won like what dollars instead or something. Even though the
Yeah.
million was when the last two.
Right.
Yeah. I believe that's what the poll was.
We don't know what is in each of these 26 cases. We do
Hey,
know
I'm gonna
the biggest
get my
prize
meds
amount
here.
in one of these cases is
I gotta do that.
$1 million all the way down to 1 penny.
Pesky
Those are the
penny.
different amounts, and each case
Yes.
is one of those amounts.
This one.
All right, and this week's winning driver.
Winning driver was
So that'll be my case.
What's the case?
24.
Sorry, you.
24. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, his
Very
voice was
well.
cutting out.
Where Jeff Gordon was in time.
We'll talk about that later. Want to find out what's in your case? Of course, so does everyone here. We start by opening those cases. Whatever we find in those
Let's
cases
change it up
is
a little bit.
obviously
We're gonna do
not
here.
your case.
Starting
Let's
with
begin.
6 cases in round 1.
Well, would you look at the big brain on this player? There are 4 of them in the puzzle.
Puzzler. Yep. He has not forgotten about the Viking clips.
$50.
$50
Off the
is in
board.
there.
$50, not your case.
Yay. Cool.
5 more cases to go.
All right. Let's go over to 15.
15.
Number 15.
All right. 3/4 of $1 million on the
That
second
is
pick.
not
Oh, God,
$750,000
no.
is off the board.
No.
It's
It's
gone.
gone.
can't
It's
say that.
not your case.
That's gotta
You
suck.
have
All right.
4 more
Yep.
cases to open.
21.
Pick a case.
Yep. Number 2.
My favorite
21,
number.
that's Blair. Please show us a low number.
Jeez.
$5.
$5 off the board. $5
Nice.
not in your case.
All right.
And let's
All right.
slide on
3
down
more
to. Let's
open.
do my least favorite driver. Let's get him out of the way.
Number
Yep. Let's
5.
do number 5. $5 grand.
$5,000 off the board. $5,000 not in your case.
All right.
Excuse me.
You have 2 more cases.
And
to
then we'll
open.
do
Pick a
number
case.
10.
Okay.
Number 10.
Yeah.
That's Joy.
All right.
$10.
Nice. $10. Nice low number.
There you go.
$10?
Yep. $10.
Yay.
One
And,
more
let's
case to open.
rattle it off with 17.
17.
17.
Yep.
All right.
Number 17. Come on, give us some good news.
Hopefully it's the penny. But it's 25,000.
All right. You're still okay.
It's still not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Average.
Okay, the first
Yep.
round is over. You picked 6 cases,
right.
and now it's time
Now
for the
it
banker
is
to make you
time
an offer. He's not your
To
friend.
talk with
He
Banker
doesn't want you to
Una.
win. He is reading for every move, and he wants you out of here as soon as possible.
She may be
As
the
little money as
cutest
possible.
banker that we could have possibly
And
hired,
there he is on the phone. Hello.
but she's very nice.
Okay.
But she's very nice
That's
with
fair.
every offer.
Yeah.
But
This is a very fair offer, but it
we'll
is
find
very
out
early.
for sure.
And he's offering you
Her first offer is
$12,000.
$12,000.
So let
Oh, no deal, of course.
no deal, maker.
Let's do
Now for round
23.
Number
number
23.
23. That's Stephanie.
Right.
Difficult.
What do we see? It's the pesky
Exactly
penny,
what
of
you want to do.
course.
Get that penny.
Hey, we won't be showing the entire world what I've
Yes,
won.
good
Pick
thing
4
we
more
won't be doing
cases
that.
before the next offer.
Yeah.
Now let's do 7.
Number 7.
Seven.
Oh, I hope that's lucky.
It is
Good
300.
play. $300 off the board.
Hey.
$300 not in your case.
It's a good round.
To 12.
You still have 3 more cases. though. Number 12. That's Ann.
Yeah. Hold on.
3 small amounts
$7.50.
in a row. That's very good.
Man.
All right. 2 more to open. Pick a number.
All right, and let's do. Let's
6
do.
huge amounts are still on the board.
2?
8.
8, okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
That's Jamie. Please show
My
us a low
father
number.
decided to barge in here and he decided to jump in on what was going on here.
4 small amounts in a row.
$75.
You are doing great. All right.
All right, and we'll
One
close
more
out this
to
round with 19.
19.
Number
Oh.
19.
That's always going to go up.
$1,000 off the board, not in your case.
All right.
I think the banker's getting a little woozy. This board is your board.
board. Let's see what the offer is.
Hello? Okay. Okay. I'll tell him. The offer went up, and this is a very nice amount of money. The banker wants to know
Uh-oh.
if you will leave now
All right,
for
Baker, what's your next offer?
$70,000.
70
Let me
grand.
Nope. Of course not.
God.
No deal.
Yeah,
That's high.
that is.
Big jump.
Yeah,
All right,
big jump.
jump.
Now
and
you
as
have
we start this third round, time for you to do a little bit of math. Take that
Take
amount,
6
and
huge
times
amounts
it
in
by
number
2. And that multiplication
$400 out of
eliminates
nice
$400
low
from
amount.
the board.
all right.
You have 3 more cases to open. Pick a case.
And then we will. Let's do my favorite driver. Let's get him
number
going.
9.
Number
Let's
9.
see.
That's Maria.
I'm pretty sure this was where
Let's
the top
see
prize
that
was
dollar.
when I played the Big John's version on the Friday Fun Night show a few weeks
Excellent.
ago.
$1.
And
$1
there's
is
the
off
dollar.
board.
Wow.
Pick 2 more cases before the next offer.
You're going to have a good game, I think, maybe. Let's hope so.
Don't
Yeah.
jinx it. 26.
6 huge amounts.
Uh-oh.
26.
Well,
Let
we're
it be
hoping
low.
for it.
Let's hope so. Good game. No.
$100,000.
$100,000.
Oh boy.
Coming
Nope.
back.
None of those. Next player.
Player.
Next
1 more
player, they
case
said.
before the next offer.
Yep.
Let's go to the Ocean
$1
Wave, which is
million
at number
is still
13.
on the board.
Yep. Brandon's been waiting all
I need
year
to
for
make a
Big
song
John's
called
wheel.
Ocean Wave.
He was waiting all year for Big John's wheel, and it's finally here. $10,000
Yep.
this game.
Off the board, not in the case. I think the banker's getting a little woozy. This board.
This is going to be a big offer coming up.
Yeah, but will it be enough to
Hello?
go into 6 figures, though?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
We'll see.
Let's
I'll
see.
tell him that. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
We're into the six
six
figures You need to think this through. The
Is
offer
it?
is
It's
$140,000.
$140,000.
So here's the question.
wow. No deal.
Wow.
Your case could still hold $1
Hey,
million.
let's-
2 times the previous amount.
Did I hear
Yeah.
the deal?
If you take the deal,
And let's
that
go to
money
the
is
Lion,
100%
who's
yours.
staring at me at number
No deal.
16.
Yep. I went ahead
This
and
time,
signed
number
the deal
16,
because
that's
the
Tory.
decision was cutting out
Of course.
the case.
$75,000 is off the board.
Wow.
$75,000 is not
Well,
in your case.
It only gets worse from here
Two
now,
more
doesn't it?
cases to go.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but there's one at number 22, so let's get him going.
Number 22,
Well, let's
that's
hope it's not
Alexa.
anything big.
Show us something good.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
$200,000 is gone.
Oh, jeez. That was kind of scary.
All right. One more to open. Pick a number.
All right, and I don't believe it. You know how many there are?
If you
One.
pick
One.
number one.
One. And
$100.
that one has $2 million.
Good low number.
I don't think it does.
Doesn't.
That was okay. Wasn't great. Not horrible. Let's see what the banker thinks.
Oh yeah, there are 2 1 for the mystery wedge.
Okay.
Banker, I
This is
sure
a
hope
great
you
offer.
enjoyed that random character
Maybe
extravaganza
it's
we
enough
did
for you to walk
last
away.
Week. Oh, that was
The
great.
offer is
Anyway,
What was the
$100,000
value in that case?
$1,000. 200 grand.
No deal.
$200 was in that last
deal.
case.
Oh, good. That's good. Like, so it's lucky. Right. Oh, what was it?
All right.
$280,000?
$180,000
Wow.
was the offer.
Oh.
Well, let's do number 20.
number 20. That's Nina.
Number 20.
Oh, man. Yep.
Exactly what you want. $500. Not in your case.
Wow. What the heck
Just
is
one
going
more
on
case to
here? Who won the
All
million?
Number 3.
3.
Number 3.
Oh,
That's
no.
Shannon.
I have really bad hopes for this number.
$500,000 off the board.
Yep.
Not
I knew it. It was
All
a-
right, you did it. You landed on the
So you know that that's
instant
the banker.
win
That's his
wedge.
job to buy
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just
He's
There's
about
no
to make you
instant
an
win
offer.
wedge. You bankrupt, Billy. Get out.
Hello.
Yep.
Okay. That's fair.
Like I said, he's been waiting all year for Big John's Wheel of Fortune,
Wow.
and it finally
The offer
arrived.
went up. This is a lot of money.
Hey.
The offer
They
is
did it right after finishing.
Hang on, what is this?
$230,000.
Speedometer doing?
$230,000 is the next offer.
No deal.
Absolutely.
No
not.
deal.
Wait, it actually went up?
Yes, it did.
We've entered
Wow,
the critical
okay.
stage of the game.
With this,
Oh, the speedometer's going up in speed, 2.5 miles per hour.
Oh, yep. We're
If
at
you
the
keep the million in
stage of the
play,
game.
the offer's
So
going to
6,
go
11,
up.
14, 18, 25 remain.
25.
Oh,
Number
25.
25, that's
top
Madison.
row.
Oh, no.
That is $25.
That's great. $25.
Oh,
Okay.
exactly 25. Wow.
25
I
for
think
25.
you're making the bank.
25, 25.
Great round.
Matching
Let's see what
equals. What is my speedometer doing?
Hello?
2.7 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 7.
This is a
sevens
fantastic offer.
on
You
the
need
board.
to weigh your options. The offer is
Which equals 49.
$280,000.
No, it's 280,000. That is the next offer.
No deal for that.
I'm just kidding. Oh, wait, it actually stayed the same?
And we're going to do your favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lucky number.
Okay, moving on. Number 11.
This
Let's
was
see
what robbed me at
$100.
the end of last week's Big John's game. They had a
Yeah.
higher amount.
$100
Not this time,
out of a nice
$100 to clear the whole left side.
I think you're making
Wow.
the bank.
Wow.
That was a great
That's
round.
gonna
Let's see
go
what
up
he's got to
again.
It
That's gonna be like in the
absolutely is.
400s or 300s or something, maybe 500s.
say. Hello?
I don't know.
Well, 400. Well,
Okay.
I don't
That's
think
fair.
we're gonna get that. I don't think we're gonna get that far quite yet.
This is a fantastic offer.
Yeah.
You need to weigh your options.
Okay, we're at
It'll
2.3.
be like
offer
300
is
something thousand
$380,000.
is the
So
offer.
let me
No deal.
380,000? Wow. Oh, 3.3 miles per hour.
A 25% chance of having
Guess this
$1
thing is going up,
million
isn't it?
in your
Speedometer
All
wise.
right, we're going to do 14.
No deal, man.
All right. Yep. Gonna turn down the offer, and we'll go ahead and pick 14.
Okay, number 14. That's Tina. Let's see a low amount.
Let's see 50,000. For
There goes $400,000.
Oh, no.
Hey, John actually coded this wedge to be a special wedge, and I get to call the amount.
And I think that
Yep.
amount will be
I think
negative.
that will be negative, whatever your score is.
Hello?
Negative, what are your scores?
I'll tell him that. This is a fantastic offer. You need to weigh your options.
Funny.
The offer is
Let's do the next one.
$410,000.
What?
No deal.
No deal.
Still went up. Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
18 will be my last case.
Number 18. That's
Oh my God, here we go.
Hoping for the best. $50,000.
$50,000.
Oh,
Wow. So now
here
it's
we
just gonna
go,
go
folks.
up to like $500,000.
That was a great round.
Yeah,
Possibly at least.
maybe 600,000.
Oh yeah, because you've got a good chance of making the million now.
300,000
Of winning the million.
are left.
That's fair.
But let's see what Banker Una has to say about that.
All right. It really doesn't get much better than this. This is exactly how you want to play the game. And this offer proves it.
Now
And the
that's
offer
a clip
is
we have not heard from Mr. House in a long time.
$600,000.
$600,000.
The moment of truth.
Is the
wow.
Oh yeah.
600,000 is the offer. No deal.
Still hold one
$600,000. That's a record I think we made as far as offers are concerned.
I believe so.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
$600,000.
All right.
Dollars.
Away with a very nice
I
offer.
think,
Before we open-
given what has happened in the past, I think we got to switch that case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going
Let's
off our
see.
Going off our record books that 6 had the million. Let's see if this is
Open
one
your
of those
case
times.
and let's see how you did.
Let's see.
Yes.
Indeed it
held
is.
out until the very end
Yeah.
and it paid off. You have
Yay,
a
you won
$1
it.
million case.
Yep. Yalik took an offer and ended up with the million, but this time Brandon went all the way and won the million.
Yay! Wahoo, dude!
I'm $1 million.
Congratulations! Another $1 million.
Yep. These are our newest.
It was in the
millionaires.
notorious
600. That's weird because 600 and 1,006. Okay, whatever. That's weird. That's
Well,
cool
now,
though.
Since we have both of them here, I'm not sure if Yalik would like to play too.
No, I
If not,
don't.
that's
I am not pushing my luck again. I am not doing it this time.
Okay. Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, that's
All right,
understandable.
Brandon. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
guess- Yeah, I guess
Well,
you
let's
left
go.
already. Yep, we'll go ahead and switch back over to this here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and switch back over. There we go.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'll switch the.
Now it's time for whatever game you were going to play next. What was it?
No, it's not going to be sorry. I was just switching the disc over for Friday. That is, if we even get to the Friday Fun Night show this week because of the circumstances I mentioned at the beginning. But we
I
are
have a
gonna get
question
onto-
for you.
But we're going to get on to Yahtzee, which
I have a
Prep
question for you,
the-
Planful.
what would that be?
I have a question. What are you going to do for New Year's? I know that's almost the end of the year. It's October, but we got 2 more months to go until the end of the year. What do you plan on doing for New Year's
For,
2026?
New Year's Eve? Well, since
Yeah.
since New Year's Eve actually falls on a Wednesday, we're gonna combine we're gonna do sort of a weekly test
Yeah.
show New Year's special.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, something that I don't think we've ever done. Is
Oh.
we're gonna get we're gonna get all the NWS tests and.
Nice.
But of course, we're going to do what I have been doing, following New Year's, following New Year following the New Year all around the world. You know,
Yeah.
watching each time zone hit the stroke of midnight
Yeah.
to January 1st, and seeing how each part of the world celebrates the New Year. Eventually leading to us here in the States reading the New
Yes.
Year.
Yeah.
And of course, while it's early here in the morning, Australia, of course, lot of places. Australia, Qatar, Greece. In fact,
I'm gonna mute for a second. Hold on a second.
And a majority of those places actually end up hosting, putting on spectacular firework displays to celebrate the new year. Well, a majority of all those places, but then there are some that do not. But I guess that's understandable. Alright. Anyway, yeah, that's what's coming up, at the end of this year. Hoping to do it here at home, but if not, then it will likely be at the Lawn of Oaks, which was where those Latitude laptops were being sold from earlier. Yeah, when we were looking at those laptops from that eBay scavenger hunt, which we will actually get back to when we finish these 2 games of Yahtzee here.
Yeah.
But of course we're doing Yahtzee in preparation for it to become a actual series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to become an actual series next year. So yeah, next year it's going to become an actual series. As I also said at the top of the show, I got the opening credits for it prepared. I prepared the opening credits sequence for Yahtzee. Well, not the opening credit, but the closing credits sequence. Actually, I'd rather save the 4 of a kind for a larger number. Yeah, I'd rather save 4 of a kind for a larger number. But then, of course, next week, then next week is when I plan to start taping another new show, which I actually finished making the closing credits for. When the Lembine said that he was not gonna call me that night because of something that he needed to be up early for on his part.
Oh yeah, that was last night.
Yeah, that was last night. I was referencing last night. But even if he was able to do the call, I would just tell him that I was, busy putting those closing credit sequences for A Ticket to Ride Together and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Which will actually be the next show as part of the fall taping cycle that I will be producing.
Yeah.
And of course, earlier today, earlier in part 1, I finished exporting all the episodes of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The 95 episodes that completes the first season, which will run through to May, sort of in like it's kind of running in like a sort of like a ordinary TV season kind of format. Like how how there's syndicated shows that run from August or September to May. So we're kind of taking that idea in that sense. Yeah, we're taking that idea in that sense. So so fifth grader will be we'll run episodes from, but at the same time too, in sort of a fashion for exactly as for the start times of actual school here in Chicagoland. Well, here it actually begins in mid-August, so when I planned the beginning of the very first season of fifth grader, in the spring when we did the spring taping cycle, I believe it was actually towards the end of the spring taping cycle.
No, hold on. I gotta search what this is.
When I planned that out, along with those along with those pre-channel products, which released over the summer, leading up to the season premiere. I actually premiered that with the beginning of the fall semester for college, so...
What
yeah,
the heck is
I believe
PlayHop?
Yeah, I believe I did a
Never
fifth
heard of
grader
this.
start. Yeah, I believe I did a fifth grader start with my fall college semester at the same time. Yeah, it's marked off small straight. And then after the, and then later on in the spring, that is when I will be taping the second season of Fifth Grader, which should then bring the show to 2 years. Because usually with my shows, I usually run them for a set amount of time. You know, unlike a majority of other shows, which usually run for, you know, maybe split into seasons. No, I don't. Well, I only do that with most shows, but The Bowling Train and Fifth Grader are the only two shows that I'm splitting into. Well, that and Downers Grove are the only shows I'm splitting into seasons. Because no other shows of mine are being split into seasons. They're just being done all in they're all being done in massive episode orders, and then that's the end of it from there. So
Actually, I'm gonna hide them.
So yeah, that's the whole story. So that's the whole story with that. But then of course you know with each show.
Damn it, it doesn't work? Oh my lord. Dang it, it doesn't work. What the heck? Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. Wait, what? Another bad day? Amazon Web Services US East 1 region is having another bad day. What is going on with Amazon, man? Fucking heck.
Well, I mean, I heard about the outage involving Microsoft today.
Oh, what is Amazon fucking going through? Maybe people don't like Amazon.
I mean, it's actually mainly involving the certification exam platform.
Oh, I wonder because I keep getting PKIC CRL things, certificate revocation lists. It seems like those TLS certificates never last, ever. Anyways, I'll actually search what that is. Let me see, certificate revocation list. Let's take a look at this.
I'm going to mark off the 6.
Yeah. Yeah, PKI is CRL.
Let's have the Yahtzee. I'll take the 4 of a kind. We gotta get small straight and large straight marked off. There we go, large straight.
Oh wow, got Full House right out of the gate.
Nice.
And no chance of Yahtzee, so 3 of a kind it is. Thought I already marked Full House off. Well, small straight is the only other thing I can go for now. Well, let's go and mark that down. Let's mark off 3 now. Let's see. Let's try for yeah, so no for 15. But yeah. So again with the fall taping cycle, I plan to record Ticket to Ride beginning next week, and then I'll tape episodes throughout the month of November, and then through the month of November, possibly going into December if it takes a while, and then when that's finished, and then as soon as that's complete, then the next stage is that I've got an announcement video planned on a upcoming rebrand and changes to the channel for next year. Yeah, changes to the channel and whatnot. Yeah, for next year. Yeah, I'll mark the 2s because that's going to give us a higher score. And then in December, after I complete my final exams for my college courses, once I have those completed, then I'll spend the whole week completing college finals. And then December 8th is when I am looking to begin production on the Yahtzee series, which I actually will have a lot more time to create because I will not have to deal with any college work and whatnot. So I can just tape this I can just tape as many episodes as I want until the cutoff point. So until the cutoff point each day. So then, as you can see, these episodes are going to go pretty fast. Yeah, because we're kind of doing, a bit of a test run with it, here live. So I just want to give you folks an idea as to what it's going to be like when I begin recording these episodes. Yeah, when I start recording episodes of the show. Let's just go and mark off chance. And I'm gonna finish in 3rd place anyway, so. Yeah, big win. 369 compared to my 203. Dang. Oh yeah, and of course I've even been raving to the Yahtzee credits theme. You know, even after I made the credit sequence for the program and whatnot. Okay, so there we go with that. And yep, I've left the eBay page open so that way we can continue looking at a bunch of PCs and whatnot. But before we get back to that, let's see what all these enthusiasts caught. I see Radio Frenzy caught the State College Weekly along with Southern PAWX. I heard a 120 DSP in the process. And I see Chev EAS. I see Chev EAS got the Dissipper, I believe that's how it's pronounced, 321. This is actually only the second unboxing of this thing that I've seen since this new thing was released to the market. And I actually showed off the listing earlier.
Yeah, the listing is bigger than
Definitely. So, a USB brick, power adapter, manual. Battery compartment for backup batteries. External antenna and the headphone jack.
You gotta really tap it down. I'm not sure if I like that. See if we can. Am I pushing punk? Am I old? Am I bad with electronics now? What the fuck? It's a display off. Set up date.
Yeah, set up date.
It's back.
So it looks like he just made that today. Yeah, that's what the siren on it sounds like. Yeah. You can disable high priority products. Oh no, almost like the MD319. Yeah, you can disable critical products, which is not supposed to be in a weather alert radio. It should not be like that. Oh, those tappable buttons? Ah, that's interesting. I'm gonna tap them. Oh, and of course the EAN is on there. Yeah, EAN is actually in there. Yeah, one of the biggest flaws of that. Oh, that's interesting. It's using touch-based technology, so you're not pressing the button, you're actually tapping them. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's not supposed to be something you can disable like on some of the more major brands like Midland or Radio Shack. Yeah, like that. And then, yeah, and then of course the So yeah. So 2 unboxings of this thing in like 2 days. Which is interesting. Alright, and then Chevy AS got Boston and Gray test. And then Texas Golf Course got the Norman evening tests. Landon's Techno Collectibles, whatever, got the 6 p.m. evening test from Tampa. With the WF301 that he got yesterday. Yep, that's what the advisory siren sounds like on there. And then, of course, this was the one from 11 a.m. this morning. Yeah, we got to hear that for the first time. And then Roleplay premiered all the flash flood warnings and that flash flood emergency from over the weekend. Well, not just that, but also everything else that happened. And there was a no EAS thing. Let's see. It says flash flood. Okay, this should be the flash flood emergency right here. That's just Brevard. Severe thunderstorm. Okay, that actually was a considerable one. One of them should say just Lake County. No, that's just Lake and Orange. It says the flash flood emergency. Oh, yep, here it is. There's the flash flood emergency. He had it under a different. He had it under a very different color and a different label too. And he had quite a reaction to that. Wow. Alright, now we go on to Thunder Buddy stuff. He, of course, got the New York City Weekly this morning on all 3 of the transmitters you can get. WHC 42 Meriden, WXM 80 Riverhead, and KWO 35 New York City. And then Albany on and then Landon WX got the Birmingham Weekly, which happened right at 11 a.m. as usual. And this time, Lightning Bolt got the entirety of Chicago's test today. He got all of it. The initial activation and the message. And Storm Wyatt got the weekly on KXI 42. Now, let's see, where's his new radio at? Is that the power brick that goes to the 301? I believe it is, or is it just an app, or is it just one of those slow 5-watt chargers from Apple? Hmm, I guess he didn't want to show it right now. That's okay. And then Imperial County got his stuff up from yesterday. This was Kern County, and then after that would be Los Angeles. Yep, and Los Angeles. So that was everything from yesterday. And then of course there was the stream that Southern PA did with State College. Yep. Yeah, it's about it's about a quarter to midnight Eastern time, and yeah, he's got work tomorrow and whatnot. Yep. Yep. We'll let him get the sleep that he needs. And again, as always, we do thank him for being with us. Anyway, let's continue here. That's right. That is right. This weekend we flipped the clocks back, and I have that part of the plan as well. To the clock back an hour. I do understand that. I do understand that the Zamora thing is not gonna. It's just gonna tell me that everything's expired. When UTC hits 12 midnight or 1 a.m. Yeah, because UTC time is actually gonna go back an hour first. Yeah, Universal Coordinated Time is gonna go back an hour first, and then that's what's gonna cause all this alert is expired nonsense, to last for several hours at a time. And then, of course, eventually, by the time our clocks flip back, then it will start logging everything again. Because I think we've had this happen. Because I'm pretty sure this happened before, and I think this happened too when the clocks moved forward. So, because we just introduced the station last year, so it's so I have a feeling that. But now I totally understand how this whole thing works. So, 'cause it wasn't that hard to set up at all. All it was, that was the difficult part was the stream, just getting the stream going and everything. But
Let's go ahead and have a successful test.
and the recom activated early. It activated twice. And then Accurate got the Indianapolis test. And then this is Wilmington, North Carolina. I see he does not look to get his hands on that thing yet. And, most of his WR100s are going off again, but at least some of them are. Alright. And lastly, let's check here. So there's my severe weather events thing. And let's see what tests Yoshi Fan got. He got Maryland's monthly test on WBAL Baltimore. And then WPRO Providence, Rhode Island's weekly, and that is about it. And then Youngstown got the Cleveland weekly. Wait, what? Let me watch that again. I cannot even read what that says. Does that say like unknown weather event, Toon TV statement, or something like that? I don't know. All right, and then Mahoning County actually got multiple tests. He got Detroit's weekly, and he got Grand Rapids. Chaos in the car. He had a few of his radios in the car. Oh my gosh! Wow. You know, good thing that was something I did not go through. Well, I did actually. Yeah, he did. But yeah, I've actually seen a whole bunch of them. Get our WTs, NWS weeklies in the car. Now, I actually did get a weekly in the car, actually several times before. The the last time that I remember getting one of those on tape in the car was, if you may remember, from December, well, towards the end of 2022. You may remember when, just hours after, after I arrived in Orlando, Florida. We were just leaving from dinner, and it came time for Melbourne's. Well, when Melbourne was still doing their evening test, I got it. I got their evening test on the way over to where we were going to be staying for the week. I've talked about the whole story, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. I mean, I would love to go back. I mean, I would love to return to Florida someday, but who knows when that day will come. But anyway, weekly test epic fail. Yeah, the station. Yeah, the station glitched up.
This blue strobe light from the ceiling.
Yeah, the station glitched, and he demonstrated the blue strobe light that he installed. And here's a sudden ambience from Lavaca, Arkansas that happened at 12 noon, along with Wisconsin. And then Piedmont Region WX got the uh, heat advisory. Heat advisory for California in late October. Which is interesting. And then Mahoning got the Pittsburgh Weekly via that home security camera. I don't think his radio's got Cleveland, then I'll have to check. And then, of course, CXP got the Miami test that happened. And then, of course, you got the morning Tampa test. And the one from this evening in the car. And finally, this VTech. And then he demonstrated this VTech toy. I don't know if he remembers, I don't know. Because I actually did post a video on and what's this? Windows 11 upgrade race. Yeah, I see this guy. yeah, I see this guy has and then I gotta look at the new full screen notification that Microsoft has started to push out. And now it says discover your options to stay protected. Windows 10 support has ended, leaving your PC at risk without essential security updates. But don't worry, you have options to stay protected. You can upgrade to a new Windows 11 PC, which I already have. So that is the end of support reminder. That is for devices that do meet the Windows 11 minimum system requirements. It even shows him putting Windows 11 on a Steam Deck. On a friggin' Steam Deck. And even the 2000 and, well, interesting, because he's doing an update race on Windows 11. It's one of those things, where, when Microsoft pushes out a new security update, I just want to see which one will complete the update first. Anyway, let's get these 10 here because it is just about time. I'm gonna let everything load one by one, and then 9, 0, 1 right here, and then where's 15? I've already put 11 on that side. There we go. There's 15. Okay. Let's
Support for Windows 10 has ended, which means it no longer
Well, yeah, that's something good to know. So, yeah, of course, just like I did with, as he mentioned in that video I just watched, that video I think he actually just released today. Okay, that should be it. That's it, yep. Yeah, it was that silly, whatever that Dazdik thing is. But yeah. But yeah, I have locked my machine on 20, because yeah, I've done that. That's anyway. Yep, there we go. That is that, and we are going to get back to the eBay. Yeah, yeah, we're going to get back to the eBay. Yeah, we're gonna get back to the eBay scavenger hunt here in just a moment, but. Oh, I see somebody else caught those Metro locomotives. I see somebody else caught those Metro locomotives too last night. This time you caught it from Downers Grove. So yeah, this was the same intermodal train from last night that carried those 4 Metro locomotives. And as I was saying earlier, it's not because they're being retired. It's not because they're being retired, but rather they're being sent over to a special facility, as far as I remember, to be converted to battery power from diesel power. Which I think is which I think is like another way, that we're going green, which I actually like that move better, than just that. But yeah, I'm glad he got that end of support video out better than ever. Ooh, great. Another one of these idiots and driver videos from. Yeah. That's an idiots and cars moment. That is an idiots in cars moment right there. Yeah, it's um yeah, it definitely is. But good thing I've learned, something from that video. Yeah, I've actually learned something, from that video. Because of course in that video he mentioned that video I saw from the Computer Guy 96. Yeah, the same guy that did a video on a 2008 HP desktop PC that had Windows Vista on it. He upgraded it to Windows 7, then he upgraded it to Windows 10, and then restored it back to Vista from the factory install. And did a upgrade experiment on a Lenovo ThinkPad from the 2000s that had XP, and it just upgraded it through like every version of Windows. Upgraded to Vista, then upgraded it to 7, and then 8, and then 10, all the way up to 10. I think he skipped over the regular Windows 8 and just did Windows 8.1, or did he do the regular Windows 8? Or did he do 8, then do 8.1, and then 10? If I were to ever try an upgrade experiment, I would just skip over 8, just go straight to the updated 8.1, and then just, go to Windows 10. But I mean, here's the big thing. But of course, he did mention about the end of support for Windows 10, and also showed the end of support notification that I believe is going to begin rolling out soon. I think he got his first look at that at the final end of support reminder, the last notification that that Microsoft is going to push out to Windows 10. Well, actually, I think there's going to be like one more, but that's going to be towards the end of the extended security updates. Toward the end of the ESU program, I'm guessing is when they're going to push out one more notification. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't think they ever did for Windows 7. Yeah, they did for Windows 7, but it was only for home users, as they did not get an ESU program. However, with Windows 10, I'm guessing this is going to be the same story, because Microsoft is doing extended updates for individuals and businesses this time around, because of how much market share Windows 10 has. So, yeah, what I'm thinking is they're only going to push out a final notification or reminder to only individuals and not the businesses. At least that's what I'm guessing is going to be the case. But we'll find out what actually happens, when we get to, when we return to this, this again next year. But the Nostalgia Paradise finale, as I've made already, entirely focuses 100% on the end of Windows 10, which again was how I prepared for the end of support, and showing my my main laptop, getting a makeover and everything like that. But I don't think that makeover would be, particularly the best. I think it would be, better if we just put Zorin OS on there, and, if I want to, give it a new lease of life, I could maybe just go ahead and throw Zorin OS on there. Because, yeah, if Microsoft says it can't run Windows 11, then might as well just put a Linux distro. And maybe I will give Zorin OS a try. Yeah, maybe I will give Zorin OS a shot and actually see, maybe I will try Zorin OS on a virtual machine and just, see what it's all about, and see if it can actually be a good viable replacement for Windows 10 if I choose to keep my Dell XPS laptop after the end of support. Yeah, after the end of Windows 10. But of course I will make a backup of the partition, and then of course beforehand I'll make a backup of the partition. I'll make a complete backup of the entire system, with Acronis before I go any further with, wiping the drive and wiping Windows 10 and just putting Zorin OS on there, full time. But I mean, if I'm not going to keep it for too much longer anyway, then I don't think there's a reason to. So yeah, what I'm thinking then, most likely, as I've said earlier, while Yalik was still with us, is most likely when the time comes to finally retire this 13-inch laptop, I'm going to take out the SSD, and then I'm going to put and then pretty much the final upgrade I'll be making with the Optiplex small form factor PC is I'm going to put the 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD into that machine. But actually what I'm going to do is, instead of reinstalling Windows from scratch, what I'm thinking of doing this time around is, instead of reinstalling Windows completely from scratch, I'm just going to make a one-to-one clone of the hard drive that's in there and then throw it onto the NVMe drive. So essentially I'm going to make a one-to-one clone. Clone the install onto the NVMe drive, and then take out the SATA SSD, and then everything will be left exactly as it is on that new drive. So I mean, that could be good, personally. But That's going to have to wait till another time once I can get my hands on another M.2 screw, or I can take the one from this XPS and use that one instead, which I think would be the best viable option. Because I don't really know how. Well, I mean, I have a bunch of screws now, but they're all being used instead of all these PCs. So I don't really know how we're gonna get that to work. And that 128 gig drive, I can maybe just store it in one of those boxes and maybe just keep it as a backup drive. If I need to change out one of them at some point in the future. Yeah, that is if I so choose. But anyway, now that it has been 2 weeks since the final update for Windows 10. Yeah, now that it's been 2 weeks since the last update for the last regular update for Windows 10. And now with Windows 11 23H2 soon to join 10 up in the in Windows heaven, I guess I can say. I am pretty much beginning to sort of start to make the plan on moving up to the next version of Windows 11. I know it's been kind of crazy that Microsoft had been forcing 24H2 on 23H2 systems, without fixing any problems and whatnot with 24. Oh my god, it was just a complete disaster. But at least I'm happy 24H2 is more stable now, but still I want to stick around with 23H2 on there because of how stable it has been and whatnot. Most likely because it was an enablement package, and 24H2 was a big upgrade. And with this year's update, 25H2 being an enablement package, we're going to have to go through a full feature upgrade, which I'm assuming is what this is going to be. So it's going to do the full upgrade to 24H2, and then it will just apply the 25H2 enablement package straight away. So that's what it's going to be. But like I said, I plan on making the switch. Like I said earlier, I plan on making the switch next week. So next week, I plan on making the switch to 25H2 on all of my PCs, now that my Inspiron laptop has finally been offered the 25H2. Now that it's been offered the 25H2 feature upgrade. And we got a blue alert.
Searching for Dominic Connolly. He is a 24-year-old white male, feet 5 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds.
Yeah, let's listen to WCHL instead. They didn't test today.
County Sheriff's Office is searching for Dominic Connolly. He is a 24-year-old white male, feet 5 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds. Dominic Liam Connolly has blue eyes and blonde hair. Was last seen wearing a dark colored shirt and dark colored pants. If sighted, do not approach. Call 9.
Wow, it didn't even give me a chance to edit it.
This is a North Carolina blue alert for an injured officer. The Craven County Sheriff's Office is searching for Dominique Liam Colley, white male, old white, 24-year-old white male, young Colley. He is a 24-year-old white male, approximately 5 feet 12 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds. Dominique Liam Connolly has blue eyes and blonde hair. He was last seen wearing a dark-colored shirt and dark-colored pants. If sighted, do not approach. Call 911.
Wow. That is something. Okay. Now continuing on with what I was saying. So, now that my other Inspiron laptop, my current one, has finally been offered the 25H2 enablement package update for 24H2, upgrade from 24H2, now that it has been finally offered the enablement package, we are pretty much all set here to make the switch next week. Yes, because next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 4th, is when I plan to make the switch to 25H2. Completely, meaning on all of my remaining devices. I have already made the switch to 25H2 on my small form factor PC as part of the hardware changes, as part of the hard drive change that I did. Well, as part of the storage upgrade on my main PC. So yeah, it was part of that. I mean, it would be kind of crazy, you know, if I had Windows 11 Home and Windows 11 Pro on the same machine. It'd be kind of silly, personally, but again, both of them are Dell OEMs, and I mean, only one license key will work on one PC and one install. So there's no way that a Windows 11 Home key will work with Windows, Windows Pro, and you can't downgrade versions either. I don't think, Yeah, you can only do an in-place upgrade of a version of a edition of Windows. If you have a copy of Windows 11 Pro, like if you have a license of Windows 11 Pro, but then your system has 11 Home, then you'd have to go through Home first, and then you can upgrade to Pro in place. So yeah, I like the easy. I mean, I actually do appreciate the easy upgrade. Easy. The Windows upgrade edition upgrade tool, whatever it was called. Yeah, I think it was called Windows Easy Upgrade or something. Something like that. Yeah, you could use that to upgrade your edition of Windows. Without losing all your data and everything, which is actually pretty nice. That was actually what that same guy did when I was talking about that Windows 11 race that he did, that I watched earlier. Yeah, he upgraded that HP computer to Windows 7. That copy of that license of Vista that he had was Home, so he had to upgrade to 7 Home, and then since the only valid license he had for Windows 7 was Windows Pro, he first upgraded from Vista Home to 7 Home, and then used the license key for 7 Pro to upgrade the machine and activate it on 7 Pro. But then, of course, nowadays, actually, this is the same case with Windows 10. Now, actually, I actually just tried. What did I just try? I actually just tried, putting in a Windows 10 Pro key into a Windows 11 Pro virtual machine, and while it was a backup key, it didn't really activate the installation. So, but I mean, that's the thing. I'm not going to be one of those, I'm not going to try and do that. I would never do that personally, but that's all right. I mean, just as long as I can use it without, I can just deal with, I can just deal with limited customizations. I'm all right with it. Yeah, I'm just all right with it. That's all I care. So, but anyway. So yeah, I did talk about how how the rest of the fall taping cycle is going to go. So, but it's a good thing I'm mentioning Windows 11 now, because I'll have to because it's part of the final project for OS Fundamentals. It would require another copy of this course. Project says to download new copies of both Windows 11 and Ubuntu. Well, actually, I am actually not going to do that. I'm not going to download new copies of both virtual machines. I'm just going to set them. I'm just going to set them both up brand new from scratch. When I say both brand new from scratch, is a disc of a brand new latest version. A disc of a brand new latest version of Windows 11 from Microsoft, and the latest version of Ubuntu from, well, the Ubuntu Corporation, or whatever it is. So, yeah, that's essentially what it's gonna be. I'm just gonna grab both discs from their respective vendors' websites. Hold on. Dang, that went pretty fast, didn't it? But now that the instructor finally understands that 23H2 is losing support, he did actually update the Windows 11 VM to 24H2. But as I said, I will be putting my focus and emphasis on these finals the first full week of December. We'll be focusing on final exams and everything the first full week of December. But then, of course, we have Thanksgiving holiday. I did talk about where the fall taping cycle is going to go now that fifth grader is nearly complete. I say nearly complete because I finished taping the remaining episodes yesterday. Yesterday I finished taping the remaining episodes of the show. And today I partially started the export process. Now all that's left to do is, and then earlier today I finished the export procedure. Now all that's left to do is upload all 95 of those episodes to complete the first season of fifth grader. From where it looks to be right now, it looks to be concluding in May. Then again, because of what's coming up this weekend, I am going to have the whole week of the 3rd and the 3rd up to the 7th, free of any sort of taping of any kind. So, I mean, no tapings of any shows whatsoever. Because, of course, I've planned it out accordingly. So, but of course, as I've said, Monday the 3rd, Well, actually, I've been told that either I'll end up back here on the night of Sunday the 2nd or Monday the 3rd. But again, we will see. We'll see how things go, and that will decide what will happen with Monday the 3rd. That will decide what will happen with that day. And then Tuesday the 4th, as I had just mentioned, as I literally just mentioned, that is when I will be performing the feature update on all 4 of my PCs. My main PC, however, though, is going to take much longer because, as I've mentioned, I've been running for quite a bit now. I've actually been running 3 different versions of Windows 11 on multiple different devices. As I've said, 3 of them are on 24H2. My small form factor is on 25H2, and I said I had decided to go ahead and jump that straight to 25H2 after, upgrading from Windows 10 after installing the factory media after replacing the hard drive. But then, as I also earlier mentioned, there is one final thing I'd like to do with it before I can truly declare it complete. That 256GB NVMe SSD from the Micro, after I obtained it and replaced the hard drive inside of there, upgrading it to 1TB, I just need a proper M.2 screw so that way then I can secure it down on the small form factor. And to make the process much easier, instead of, just re-downloading the recovery media and replacing the whole, just going through the whole hard drive again completely from scratch, rather than just re-downloading the recovery media and then just reinstalling and setting up Windows all over again from scratch, this time I'm going to actually clone the entire installation over to another hard drive, cloning the installation from the SATA SSD to the M.2 NVMe SSD, and then, of course, I will take that other hard drive out. Currently, I don't know if I'm going to put another hard drive in there. I'm actually thinking I will. I'll probably just put that 500GB drive that was inside one of those ThinkPads with Windows 10. Once I get it working, I'll probably just wipe that hard drive clean, or maybe I can just load that up inside of a VMware virtual machine and, just go ahead and run that hard drive from, or just run that entire hard drive in there. Because I want to know, because I believe I saw an option inside VMware to use a physical drive. So I actually want to see if that works. I actually would like to see if that actually works. So I'm curious to see if that's actually possible. But we'll see what happens when we get to that point. Well, that's not going to be happening anywhere in the immediate future. That's likely going to happen within the next several months. We're actually looking next year. When we get to the summer again, it's by then when I'm planning to retire my XPS PC because it does not meet Windows 11's minimum requirements. So what I plan to do is just take the NVMe and the screw out of that machine, and the NVMe drive and that screw out of that PC as a whole, and then I will just keep that 128GB drive as a backup in case I need to replace it in any of my machines, and then I will throw the 256GB drive into my small form factor machine, and then from there it will run, and from there then I will not have to worry about replacing the hard drive again because it will be running off of a proper storage device. And then I'll just take that mechanical hard drive and throw it in there and just use it as like extra storage, because I know I'm not going to do too much storage on that PC, so I'm probably not going to throw a 512GB drive in there for that reason. But actually, I could utilize one of them in my other PC because it does have room for SATA expansion. And I don't think any of my other laptops have room for SATA expansion either, not even my HP. But yeah, I did look everywhere. I I did look through all the service documentation for all the PCs. Yeah, there's no way a SATA. There is absolutely no way a SATA solid state drive is going to fit in any of those other systems. There's no way. So I guess that leads to my 3670. I could have expanded the storage on there, but I didn't have an adequate a separate SATA hard drive at the time. So that was probably the reason why that plan never happened in the first. That's why that plan never ended up happening in the first place. Yeah, that is why. That's why that kind of plan with a hard drive like that or expansion never ended up happening in the first place. But I mean, ultimately, I would like to put this up to 32 gigabytes and maybe give it a bit more room. But I mean, I think 12 gigabytes of RAM inside of that small form factor machine, I think that's good enough. I mean, 12 gigabytes on Windows 11, yeah, I think 12 gigabytes is good enough. It can get the job done. Just as long as it can do what I want it to do. Yeah, just as long as it does the purpose that I want it to do. That's all I want. I just need the right amount of memory and the right amount of storage. And Windows 11 will run pretty well. That's the whole ordeal. That's what I want. Windows 11 with double-digit RAM and I'd say at least 256 gigs of storage, personally, for a PC. Although, in the sense of my old machine, yeah, it wouldn't have been that much. Because, I mean, at least I'm glad I did get an NVMe SSD, because I did experience how much faster Windows 10 was on there, but with Windows 11 now, I'm really seeing how much different it is. And I did actually find a video, I think it was like late last week or earlier this week. I think it was actually one of those old Brentech videos, before the release of Windows 11. How there was a rumor that part of the system requirements were also going to be an SSD drive, which personally I would agree. Personally, I would agree on that requirement because, yeah, it would just be too slow and sluggish, on a mechanical hard drive. I've seen how slow it was on that Dell Vostro PC after I upgraded it from Windows 7, soon after I got it and whatnot. But I mean, it was quite a tough journey with that machine, but I'm glad it ends I'm glad it ends with it coming out of my collection, for good. But that's alright. But anyway, that's enough bickering for now about that kind of stuff. Why don't we get back to the eBay scavenger hunt on computers that we were doing before we started Deal or No Deal and all this other stuff. So let's continue on. So here we have a Dell Optiplex 5080, small form factor with a 10th generation Intel chip. And then we have an old 3050 with only a 7th generation 16 gigabytes of RAM, serial. Here's a 7490 that says it's running Windows 11 Pro, but no, it's not. This picture shows it running Windows 10. And then here's a 5080 Micro with a Wi-Fi adapter already installed. I can see there's an HDMI optional module installed as well. Yeah, I would be stuck with DisplayPort, and then I would have to swap between HDMI and VGA. There's 7440 with only a 6th generation Intel chip. Here's a 7090 Ultra with Core i5V Pro, 11th generation, Windows 10. This is Windows 11 on it, actually. And then here's another one of those Optiplex PCs. It looks like the Optiplex branding was removed from the case. This one's the i3 model. So you can go up to, yeah, I guess it doesn't, you know, you can go up to, go 1 terabyte. We can throw a 512 gigabyte SSD in there. We can put Windows 11 Pro, and then 16 gigabytes. So look how cheap it is with that. Dang, but yeah, they're just throwing a bunch of stock images together. Yeah, you definitely know that that's a scam. You gotta look carefully. And then up next here's the 3060 Micro Tower. We can do 16 gigabytes of RAM. We could throw in a 1 terabyte SSD. We could put Windows 11 Pro. But of course, whatever install of Windows they have on this system, I would remove that installation and I would just grab the official one from Dell. So I would rather just wipe that installation of Windows 11 that the seller puts on there, and I would just create a whole new, I would just wipe that installation clean and just put a whole new one. Essentially saying, using the install from the manufacturer. And then we have a 7050 small form factor machine. That's the old logo. That's the 7th generation. And then that is a accurate representation of the front and the back. These are some pictures of the actual item. Oh yeah, those PS2 ports. Yeah, you don't see those anymore. Here's a 7050 micro with, again, not compatible. And then here's that 5080 Tower PC again. 10th generation i7, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and there's no operating system on it. And then this one actually just went up. This one says no OS and hard drive, but it says it comes with a power cord. Well, we can look down here and you can see. So it does come with the power cord, but it does not have a hard drive. But of course these specs are, oh wow, 3.4 gigahertz. Yeah, that is actually quite fast. That is quite a fast processor, but yeah, quite a capable machine compared to the 2.1 gigahertz that's on my micro PC and my main machine. But my main machine is actually doing quite well with the i7, particularly being not the processor clock speed, but the amount of cores. Up to 32 gigabytes of RAM and 3 terabytes of storage. Like a 1 terabyte SSD. I could just do an HDMI VGA adapter. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Put Windows 11 Pro. And of course I get charged more for it. But whatever. Here's a 7040 Tower machine. And then what else have we got here? A 5080. I think this was the same one we looked at earlier. In Lawrence, Massachusetts. Yeah, that's the same one. Here's a 7060. That looks to have just went up. See the 8th generation sticker right there. And then there's the back of it. Let's see, 7060, 8th gen, 16 gigabytes, 256 gigs of storage, no screen specs, has a DVD drive, and of course it has also, they've also labeled mentioned that this operating system is Windows 11 Pro, and also put down the serial number. Well, Dell calls it the service tag, but service tag, serial number, same thing. What else have we got here? 7040. There's a small form factor with a quad core, Windows 10 Pro, 256 gigabytes, but it looks like this does have a Wi-Fi card on it. Not sure if it's an internal Wi-Fi card or an external one. I don't know. And then this one is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is a 5070 micro with a 9th generation i5 chip, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and of course has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. And then of course you can't see it, but then there's the room for the expansive hard drive. Oh yeah, there we go. So this is the SSD right here. This is actually the smaller type of an SSD. Because the ones that I have are actually the much wider ones, but thankfully they're the ones that actually can fit. But there's actually supposed to be a slight adjustment for a screw. Yeah, there's actually two separate kind of screws that are involved in M.2 hard drives. Well, something like this. You have to adjust it based on the size of the length, width, whatever of the drive. But then of course there's the optional, you can add a SATA drive in here if you so choose. I like that they're including, the caddy, so you can add a SATA hard drive or an SSD in there if you so choose to expand the storage even further. So essentially, I've really taken the micro storage capabilities to the next level, and personally, I'm so proud of these upgrades. I mean, I've been very proud of those upgrades I've made on it since day one. I'm very proud of these upgrades I've done with it. I've maxed out the RAM. I've given it an incredible 3 terabytes of storage. Yeah, I can certainly do a lot. Otherwise, I would not have been able to fit all those episodes of 5th Grader and everything like that on there. And yep, there's 2 8GB sticks of RAM. There's the top of it with the service tag covered in tape for the purpose of the listing. And that is the NVMe drive inside of the machine. That's the 256GB drive with the serial number on that. And then this is the Wi-Fi card that is included. As you can see. Well, actually, I could actually take that Wi-Fi card, put it in the small form factor, and then give it Wi-Fi. I see this machine is on 25H2 because I can see that's the latest security revision for October. The latest mandatory revision, that is. Here's a 3880 10th generation. I've actually found out my mother's machine actually also has an i7. Interestingly. 7040 now. I see the disk drive is covered in this foam thing, whatever. Yeah, Core i5 inside, so that's 6th generation. Sixth generation, 16 gigabytes edition, Windows 10 Pro, and of course there is no Wi-Fi included out of the box. And yep, this is exactly how my small form factor PC came in. It came with this drive as its own. Yeah, most of these PCs you can't add additional SATA drives. You can't add additional ones here. Like this one here, this 5050, which has the RAM maxed out, but it also has an NVMe and a mechanical hard drive built in. So, you can kind of expand the storage on it, like I did with my main system, because now I have a 1 terabyte drive on the system. We can look at the hardware and we can see all of them. So yeah, there's the internal NVMe drive, and then the Samsung Evo, that's the extra 1 terabyte of storage that I have decided to add to my main system. I could have put that 1 terabyte drive in my main PC, but I feel it's better that, I just give it my micro PC the most incredible amount of storage that I can possibly give it, rather than just keeping it at 256 gigabytes. And I could just take that 512 gigabyte disk and just put it in there instead at a later date if I so choose. But I feel it's best, to just leave it as it is for the time being. But if I do want to reinstall 11 on this at some point and just swap out the drive, then I'll have to do a complete clone copy of everything. That way I don't lose anything on the system. And whatnot. Anyway, we have about 10 minutes left here, so let's go ahead and go through these final machines here before we wrap things up here for tonight. Now what? Okay. We're only going to be able to do this on a KLT because... Well, yeah, there's a good reason why. And actually, I might as well just plug in my tablet to the power jack now, because I am not going to be able to plug it in later when I go crazy and stuff afterward here. Okay. And there we go. I'll just go ahead and close that up because that was what I wanted to see tonight. I saw the listings for it beforehand and whatnot, so let's get WECC in there. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll finish looking at these computers here before we call it quits. Here's an Optiplex 7090 small form factor. There again is the SATA. Here's a 9020 that's on Windows 10. So there's a look at it from all sides. You can see it was upgraded from Windows 8.1. So, okay, I think that's good enough for these. Let's take a look at a few more things here before we yeah, let's take a look at some. Let's go a bit off course here and just play some. Just look at some board games here. Here's an old version of Play 9, which I'm looking to turn into a series soon. And Ticket to Ride, we have officially confirmed, this becoming a show, as I will begin production on it very soon. Here's First Journey. This is Europe. It looks like this one. So yeah, that's the Europe board game. This is the Europe version. Alright, and then Birmingham. CKA. This is 2021. Here's Ticket to Ride San Francisco. That's brand new and sealed. All right. We go reset the station now to add, to remove basically all the other stuff from earlier. Okay, where's our mistake at here? Somewhere up at, oh, here we go. Notepad decided to do it again. There we go. Alright. There we go. That's up and running now. Let's go ahead and throw CKA into there. Okay, so we'll finish by looking at these Ticket to Ride games. Why don't we, let's see. Let's see if there's any PC games here. So here's Yahtzee, the Ultimate Edition. There's the CD-ROM. Well, there's some of it in its original box, and then there are others in the jewel case. So from 1996, one from 1999, and then that's a General Mills promotion, and then here's a Yahtzee Sorry 2-pack. So this is what Yahtzee Ultimate looks like. And then this is, of course, the Sorry game that, we're still producing episodes for right now. Of course, we still got episodes being released, so. And let's see here. Then this is a 3-pack. And then this is Family Game Night for the PC. Now Yahtzee I do have installed on here, on that virtual machine, and that is the software we will be using as part of the show. But I am always looking for new ideas for new shows. But yeah, I'm always looking for, new ideas for new series to introduce here on the channel. Alright, one more thing here, and let's see if WPSU actually tests at midnight, or do they really switch to going random? Well, we'll find out here in just a moment. So I guess we'll find out here in just a moment. Yeah, because I know they usually do it in the middle of the, like right before the station ID. Alright, so they did not do it, so that is it. I will just go ahead and throw the other. I will just go ahead and throw the other tests on in here. And then that will be it for us here tonight. So that is then all we've got for you today. But of course, we do have some final piece of business to take care of before we actually, call quits here. Obviously, that first piece of business is to wish Tom and Ben good night. Thank you both so much for being with us here today. Of course, I greatly appreciate it. And now the other piece of business is to say goodnight to you, our viewers. Of course, as always, I always enjoy, spending my Wednesday like this, instead of, messing around with college work and everything like that, just spending some time with all of you. Of course, I greatly appreciate all of the time and whatnot. So, I do greatly appreciate it furthermore, and I'm very happy, of course. But of course, as we get going, I do want to take a few moments and, of course, thank all of our special guests who have joined us throughout the course of the show today. Andrew Dernick, of course, Dimitri, Ryan Schlip was here with us. Austin Vance was with us briefly to announce the Fall Severe Weather Awareness Week drill on next week's show. On next week's weekly test show. And then, let's see. And then Yalik was with us too for Deal or No Deal, and so was Brandon. Oh, I have yet to put the episode together. Well, I'll go ahead and get that taken care of right now. And of course, Comcast being Comcast, right at the stroke of midnight, one has to end up doing a weekly, so. Let me find the video from today. I know there's actually some parts of this that I need to trim off, so I'll get that taken care of too here before we say goodbye. Wow, I think yeah, it looks like the background noise cancellation on that microphone really did a good job. of canceling out that other. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong date. That is the wrong date. There we go, that's the right date. Alright, so I'm going ahead and rendering the Deal or No Deal episode now, and I'll go back on that Comcast here before we are done. So, oh, and then of course I'm going to get WRCH as well, and then we will be done. I don't know where all these new recordings are coming from. But I do know damn well that those are not supposed to be there. How did I not think about those recordings, for quite a while? But anyway, thanks again to all of our guests who have joined us here today. But then, of course, I'll go ahead and remind you all one more time here before we go of what is to come for the rest of what is in the plans now. So, for tomorrow, I won't have too much more college work to get done. I'll continue looking and see if a discussion question has ended up showing up. Maybe while we were on the air today. If one did show up, I will take care of it. Mainly for OS fundamentals. Otherwise, then there's just one more skill builder lab for cloud security to take care of, and then that's it. And since I've already taken care of Flipside, all I just need to do is watch those 2 new episodes of Scrambled Up, which I will do first thing tomorrow morning, and then I will save the perfect line for lunch, for my lunch break. And it actually will be after that point where then I will get to work on that skill builder lab, or do half of it before my lunch break and then finish it afterwards. But it depends on current circumstances where it's at, and we'll see. We will see how it goes from there. We'll see how it goes from there, and that will decide. And then, of course, also tomorrow I will work on getting those 5th grader episodes uploaded and, scheduled and whatnot. And then, of course, on a Friday night will be our fun night show. But again, but because of, some of this, but if whatever circumstance, causes us to, head over to the Lawn of Oaks sooner, Friday night we're talking, if that ends up being the case, then what we'll do instead, is, we'll just end up canceling the Friday Fun Night show this week. That is if it ends up being that way. And then, of course, all the games from Friday we will do on Saturday. And as for the Street View episode, I will do that on Friday. I will do the Street View episode on Friday, and get that taken care of. I'll actually take care of it first thing in the morning, and I will take care of it first thing in the morning and whatnot. I'll take care of it first thing tomorrow morning. First thing in the morning, and then of course I'll have it ready for a Saturday. And of course, I may have to delay the county request video till Sunday, but again, we'll see what happens. And then after I get the county request video, I'll see if I can allocate enough time so we can do Sorry. If we don't get to our Friday Fun Night show this week, then what we'll do is we'll do Way Sorry, and we'll do Way Sorry Strategy, and maybe as an added bonus, Wendy will implement a special 45-minute edition of the Random Character Extravaganza into our weekly Test Wednesday show for the 9 o'clock hour. I think that sounds good, don't you think? That is if we don't get to our Friday Fun Night show this week. But the Random Character Extravaganza this coming Wednesday is a definite, or we could maybe do it on Tuesday along with Roblox. Maybe we can save that for the very end. I think that's a great idea, personally. Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go here. We'll see how things go for this weekend, and then again, how the rest of the weekend goes. That will decide whether or not we yeah, and that will decide whether or not we get to do our Minecraft show next week. So we're already we've been planning for the worst case scenario, but I'm hoping it goes well. That's all I want. So I'm just hoping that whatever happens goes well. That's all I care for. Furthermore. But yeah, that's furthermore what we're planning for here. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and mute that for right now. But with that, folks, that's it. That is going to wrap things up here for us here tonight. So, I want to thank you all so much for joining us here today for our weekly test show. Of course, I greatly appreciate it. And we will be back with you again tomorrow night for backyard baseball, which will start anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m., hopefully. And then, of course, later on, and then, of course, soon after that, after we end that show, or soon after that show, that's when MVG is going to go live for the Showcase Beatdown. And I'll, of course, watch that and, do the usual stuff. And then Friday, again, Fun Night Show and then Net Poker, which I'm guessing will return for the special Halloween edition. Oh gosh, on Halloween night. But again, we've had this happen before, certainly, right? Anyway, yeah. And then Saturday, we'll see how things go. And then on Saturday next week, I am planning on doing a separate fun game stream. We'll do Play 18, and then of course we'll do Waystar and Waystar Strategy but then if we don't get to our Friday Fun Night show this week, then what we'll do is we will actually do an extended edition where we will do the where we will do Waystar and a Waystar Strategy along with regular Sorry. All on that Saturday night. So essentially, everything is going to be done like all at once. In that sort of sense. But yeah, that's basically what is to come here. So. Turn that down here because that's a little too loud. But anyway, there we go. That is it. I'm going to go ahead and put the finishing touches on this compilation. Go ahead and turn this on now because lastly RCH, and then finally the closing. No, that's opening. We want closing. There we go. And that brings the total to the that brings the compilation officially to a grand total of 2 hours. Let's check and make sure that everything is in the right place. Yes, it is. All right, then I'm ready to go ahead and render this guy. And I'll go ahead and just set the Safari browser on the side so that way I can mess around with whatever I want to mess around with tonight while it's exporting. But otherwise then, this compilation is officially final. I'm not going to make any more adjustments to it. That is, unless it comes up with a copyright claim at the towards the end, or Verizon ends up doing their tests. Which, all right. So I'll go ahead and just X out Discord and just go ahead and turn streamer mode off on here and just go offline because we are about done. All right. One more thing to do here, and that is to restart the station one final time to take out all that stuff. And that is it. All right, there we go. And then I will throw in the postponed weeklies. I do know Tallahassee will go, but we'll see about all the other ones, see if they end up doing their tests as a result. But with that, that's it. That is really everything we have for you tonight. So again, thank you all so much for joining us here today. Thanks to all of our special guests once again. For taking the time to join us here today, as always. And we will be back again with you tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night at anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m. Central Time when we do our weekly backyard baseball game. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So we hope you will join us for that. But until then, I am tired. I've had a long day. I need my precious sleep. So I'm going to get that precious sleep. So, until next time, this is Mr. Planfold wishing all of you a very pleasant good night.